Gratitude, divines and divinettes. I'm BreiEndia, and happy 2024. I'm coming on here because I would like to bring in the year with my, what is this right now? In the seat of the soul. So the soul star chakra is where I'm tapping into today to get the year started off. Hey Dash. So getting the year started off. 2024 represents the number 8, which is the year of success, development to abundance, clarity, and the self-care of defining oneself and allowing the emotions to be a part of connecting with the higher self. So being in the seat of the soul, I've done a lot of meditational work on my traumas, on things that have hindered me, but also things that sorry, I got on all black. I'm gonna put on my little mask thing too, but sorry. So yeah, it's closer. I wanted to get on yesterday because it was 111, but we're gonna be in the 111 portal for 72 hours. So, of the chakras, I like to talk about chakras, which are also called the spiritual centers. And of the chakras, I like to look at the higher chakras as well. So what I'm going to do with talking about the seat of the soul, which is the soul star chakra, is defining everything like I did last year with the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra, which were all about the physical body, the lower chakras in our physical body. If we want to, match them to the anatomy of our physical body, that would be, the pelvic area, the lowest area of our spine, and the perineum area, which is the same space that it is for women and men. Also, the sacral, which is more of the womb. So the I am is in the root. The womb is the I feel. So that's the womb area, which is also the sacral, and represents unity. And then the peace was the solar plexus. And those are the pillars, starting off with SelfJourneyS, which are GSelf, the I am, unity, the I feel, and peace, love, truth, wisdom, and spirit. I've already had, but I didn't put in the beginning because I only introduced the first 5 chakras when I started out, because I tied this into my music. So DJ 711 is tied to the root, my growth in that year, and then DJ 711. And when I say DJ, I mean Debbie Jam. So that's the genre that I came up with my music, and it kind of allows me to express myself through my alter egos, play in my anime cosplay. And it's a personal thing because I have my own characters that I get designed, because I love cartoons, I love animations, I love traveling through my imagination. So without further ado, today is about, like I said, DJ 111. DJ 1111 was the solar plexus, but DJ 111, like I said, I'm in the 111 portal. So shouts out to you if you know about things like this, where you're able to set your intentions. So I've done that yesterday, but you can do that within the 72-hour period for the 111 portal, which is a time to allow you to set your intentions for not just the day, but for the year, for this decade that we walked into. I know 2024 has started a new cycle in the solar system, in the area, if you're into esoteric knowledge. So yes, I have words that I like to use, 3 to 4. So if you check back on my page, I think they have a thing on Instagram where I was able to make like a little channel section, and it's called Debbie Jam. So that's or SelfJourneyS, Debbie Jam, SelfJourneyS, and Debbie Jam. It just aligns everything of the chakras and spiritual centers. I be outlining those things last year on my live, so I'm doing that now. So yeah, thank you. So the top 3 words are the soul, the divine soul. That's the main one for today, since this is the soul star chakra. And like I said, it's not the higher chakras. are not the same as the higher chakras in the physical body are not the same as the spiritual chakras in the spiritual body. So the eighth chakra is the soul star chakra, and that is seated above the crown chakra. So the crown chakra is our most highest chakra in the physical body, and it's the seventh chakra in the world now, the world's known chakra system. And it is tied to, people have asked me, it's tied to Hinduism and Buddhism. So yes, but ultimately that's not where it stops, because Native Americans know that's also something tied to the spiritual centers. So it's other ways that you can view the chakras. It just depends on how you connect it with yourself. And that's the importance of the soul star chakra, is how to connect with your higher self, your higher consciousness, and taking care of that part of yourself like you do every other part of your being. The physical and spiritual body always have to align. So I view the soul star chakra as the root of the spiritual body. Like I view the 7-11, the root chakra is the physical body's lowest chakra. The 111, the 8th chakra, the soul star chakra, is the root of the spiritual body. It is above the crown and is the first chakra that you enter into the spiritual and higher self with. So another word other than soul, I am soul. That's the main one for today. So then there's balance. So balance is, and I took notes before I got on here so I wouldn't waste time. I'm trying to get started with the day today. I've been doing community service hours. I got some obligations to fulfill, if you're wondering what I've been up to. Same old, focusing on myself, elevating myself, tapping into my consciousness and loving all of me inside and outside, even the parts that I'm still getting to know. I'm getting to know my higher self as I embark into the higher consciousness of me, and giving self-care to my higher self is actually a very pleasing thing, because it's not the same as the self-care we're used to with the physical body. So soul and seated balance, that's another word or words that I'm using for the soul star chakra. So balance, soul, balance, and success. So abundant success, seated balance, and divine soul are what I am using as the main words to bring together the elements of the 8th star chakra, the 111. And I represent with all black, because I look at white as a reflection of the colors that bring together the black color. So that's why I use the color black for the soul star. But it is represented by like basically clear or transparency, and I guess white as well. But I use the color black when I represent the soul star chakra, because I know that black brings all colors together. So when it comes to stones, I have, and I'm actually going to get, because I got my little candle burning over here, and the scents that I'm using, because I'm going to tap into all of the elements of the senses with it. So the senses that I'm going to tap into is by sight. By sight, I use the color black, like I said, to see the color black, but also in a time like this, where we're in the 111 portal, being able to see the night sky, see the outside, and embrace the darkness. That's what the emotional part ties into. Once I released my single, I wrote a song to my emotions tied to this particular element. It's only a single. It's called Emotions, DJ 111, Devi Jam 111, Emotions, and the song is Emotional. I have a video to it if you want to check that out on YouTube, but I will be releasing it on my IG eventually, sometime this year. But that is how I express myself and how I tapped into my emotions, my emotional space. I took a lot of time to focus on, and mainly because a lot of things tied to the eighth chakra being blocked is unrepressed trauma. So unprocessed trauma, environmental factors, poor lifestyle choices, negative intentions or negative emotions. lower levels of your body being suppressed. So like laziness, lackness. And you can tell when you're blocked in your soul star chakra based on these things, as well as your inability to be your most important factor, and not able to connect with our authentic self in the way that you need to, so that you can reach your higher self and actually nurture your higher self and believe in your higher self. A lot of things are tied to the carnal mind, the material world, and what we know. But when you tap into your higher consciousness, you see things from a higher perspective, from, like, as they say, a bird's eye view, and you can rationalize with things a lot better, and having those actions of naturally being able to forgive, observe, forgive, and accept things that are out of your control, and even things that are in your control that you don't want to be controlling with. So another thing that I wanted to tap into with the senses is the feeling. So I use feathers, and also to represent balance, I have 2 feathers today, and they are my black feathers. So for your sight, I can feel them, but you know, if you know what a feather feels like, they're pretty soft. But I have a large feather that I use, which I wand when I do smoke sessions. And when I say smoke sessions, I mean cleansing with sage and different types of scents that I like, and to tap into the scents that you can use for your own meditational moments or aromatherapy. Because I like using aromatherapy and meditation, especially for the higher conscious, because those higher the spiritual body is the higher self. So I feel it like, aside from, you know, me getting into my meditation for the purpose of me practicing the yoga and the things that I've learned with yoga, I'm really in love with the way meditational prayer allows me to just find more of myself discover, I won't say find, because I know myself, but discovering higher versions of myself is like a very exciting thing for me. So it's something to try if you're into these types of things. So as far as the scents, I am using, so for my candle lit, I have a white candle. It's also just as cleansing as black candles, but for the scent that I'm using today with my candle, it's frankincense, myrrh, and I put a little jasmine in there, and those are the 3 essential oils I used for the aromatherapy mode today. If you are not aware of how these work, and for my incense that I'm going to light very soon, this is sandalwood, and I have a patchouli, I think I said that right, incense as well. The patchouli and sandalwood are, as they say, smelling. They smell more, I won't say masculine, but like a musk. They have a musk to them. But I like the scents, and I'll explain really quickly how the scents work. So I'm gonna draw some beautiful love symbols into your energy while I am here. And I'm gonna let that burn out. Give myself a little sage in the midst of it. So your inspiration, focus, and connection to everything around you. I'm gonna say not just the lang lang, if you're familiar with scents. Yeah, lang lang is one of the things the scents that you can use, and like I said, that's also in my aromatherapy. But that's an assistance in inspiration, your inspiration and your focus, and connection to things around you. Connection to things around you and having comfortability and accepting things around you is important when you're trying to connect to the seat of your soul. And the myrrh and frankincense are to connect to your higher self and spirit realms. You can take that how you want. I think you shouldn't tell people too much about not everybody. You can tell people you trust, but I don't necessarily express anymore much of what I feel, see, and go through with my clairs. When I say my clairs, I mean clairvoyance, clairaudience, those different things that I learned about when it came to my mental expansion. Once you learn what works for you in your journey, and you're able to sit with yourself and be able to embrace your learning process through your meditation, your learning process, I mean, learning your emotions, how to sit with yourself, how to balance out parts of yourself that are scattered. And when I say scattered, I mean, when your energy is scattered, that's a form of it not being balanced. So that balance is a major word. Like I said, that's a part of the seat of the soul. So another scent, so that scent that connects with the higher self and the spirit realms are the frankincense and the myrrh, which the frankincense is what I also have in the aromatherapy going right now. So the jasmine and the patchouli scent both bring strength and emotional balance and ignite harmony in the flow of your energy. So the jasmine and patchouli are more like a feminine and masculine scent. When brought together, they bring a great balance to your mental. And also, the patchouli relieves stress and brings joy and optimism, just like the ylang ylang. So these scents go hand in hand. There are different types of plants or flowers that produce a lot of these smells. So if you're a botanist, or if you're just into nature, or you're into natural grown plants, they're another organism like ourselves. You can connect with these plants as well for your own good. And another thing is when you're trying to reach the seat of your soul, nurturing your emotions and trying to be intentional about your spiritual connection. So that's why in the beginning of the conversation I mentioned intentions and writing your intentions for this 111 portal. I was saying that because your intentions and how you arrange your thoughts when you're in meditation during the season of elevating to your 8th chakra, they're important, because once you open up yourself like this, you're allowing yourself to be introduced to the thoughts that you have designed, as well as energy that is around you that has manifested itself. So you got to learn a lot about what your higher self needs you to know, and how to protect your higher consciousness, and how to protect your spiritual body and like you do your physical body. Another thing with the senses, I'm going to use these as a sense of feeling, and these are the crystals that I like to delve into when I'm in my meditation. It's just the obsidian, the tourmaline, and the onyx, the black onyx. And you can do research on those your own self if you want to know more about their background. But they are good for the energy healing if you're into crystal energy healing, or if you're into Reiki or any sorts of material or using tools to harness certain energy in certain seasons. Mars is in Capricorn, I believe, this season. So while we've already shifted from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, we are not in our emotions in such a way where we're not able to think logically, and we're not in a way suppressed by our emotions or competitive due to our emotions. We are able to be free in our mental. I believe there's been a transition as well from Virgo to Libra. So a lot of transitions have kind of given us the space to enter into the air elements, which will give us more freedom to be more of ourselves. And those who are free spirits who have felt caged, you can use the seat of the soul to find your great escape, as we are, as they say, going through a great awakening. Now, I came and introduced myself to the 111. Like, I always seen signs and synchronicities, and every time I seen them, I found myself getting into a creative space, and I write to that in a certain way to express myself, right? So that's my personal thing. But we're all gifted in some kind of way to harness our energies and use those energy sources to elevate ourselves in our purpose even more, or to shift and transition into a purpose that suits us better and where we've shifted to. So once we have intentionality set to our transformation and our thoughts and the things that we want to manifest and see come to fruition, we can allow ourselves to evolve into the clarity of what we see in the synchronization of the signs given to us by the divine, given to us by God, given to us by the higher creator of all things that are created. And I won't get into too much about I'm not even gonna say that. So another thing, so basically tools, foods, what you put in your body, affirmations, how you speak to yourself, those things are a continuation of how you are able to raise the vibrations, not only in your lower and higher chakras of the physical body, but in your lower and higher chakras of the spiritual body. And that's how I break down understanding the 12 chakra system, and how to understand that there is an abundance of chakras, but when it comes to the body, there are 12 to 13, but 12 chakra system. And that's how I connect it to the zodiac and different things like that. So in Capricorn season, the 111 definitely taps into that, and that element is in my chart as well, like all the other ones. But it's in a place where it allows me to tap into my moon energy. And yeah, so shouts out to the Sagittarius and the Capricorns, and we will be going into Aquarius season 2, so shouts out to you as well. And okay, so I did the scent, the sight. I'm gonna slow down a little, and I mentioned that I use my dual, my yin and yang black feathers to represent the balance of this particular season. So I started off with like the 111 by my personal awakening, but more so the awakening of my soul. So I've had awakening in the world, the spirit awakening, seeing things from my 7th chakra, with my crown chakra, and meaning I've already grown through the chakras beneath the crown to reach the crown and to open my 3rd eye and my throat chakra, allow my heart to burst in my heart chakra, allow my power to burst through my solar plexus, and allow myself to unify with my higher consciousness through the unity of my sacral. So it's constant connecting and unifying the physical and spiritual body for me personally. So when I started with my awakening, it was just myself and my emotions. And in my emotions, I was able to find comfort with my higher self. I was able to find more of that peace. But a lot of the power comes from being seated in the soul. And to be seated in general is kind of like being balanced when you know that you're seated in the consciousness of your higher being. And when I look at where we are today in 2024, the cool thing about numbers and this year being 2024 is that goes down to the singular number of the number 8. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So the 2024 represents the 8th year, the 8th cycle of this particular decade. And I like how the 8th chakra, which is the soul star chakra, it's the beginning. And ironically, 111 also represents new beginnings. So if you see the number 111, that's what is urging you to recognize is the new beginnings, not only in your personal life, whether you are or not experiencing some, or have not prior to the 111 portal. It's new beginnings to things around you as well, and in the world. There's an energy of a great awakening, as they have been mentioning in the public. But a great awakening is something that is felt by the masses, and a major shift, not just by things we see on TV or what the media is projecting, but it's naturally felt by people who have connected with the seat of their soul, knowingly or unknowingly, because the seat of the soul allows you to, like I said, see from a bird's eye view, so you can see what is going on, whether it be in lucid dreaming and in your dream state, when you're tapping into the 8th chakra, the seat of the soul. And if you're doing so in the 111 portal, where you're meditating through the 72 hours of an open space to set your intentions and bring them forth, you can see how rapidly things around you are shifting to assist what you're needing in your environment, but also based on everyone else applying themselves, it's shifting around you as well. And not everybody has good intentions. So I want to say that, and I want to be real about why I look at the 111 and the 8th star chakra, the soul star chakra, the 8th chakra, as a way to balance, is because you can balance those light and dark energies of oneself. And there is now, like I said, I already did my personal intention setting for this day, but also for this year. I have some bay leaves, and I'm not gonna I'm gonna just do one. So what I usually do when I'm setting my own intentions, I have the bay leaf. You can research what bay leaves, importance of them, if you want to research through actual research in, the world, or if you want to do it through your own meditation. The best form of research is through your inward world, which I say in SelfJourneyS, happy inwards, because when you meditate and you have meditational prayer, you have a happy inwards because you get to explore yourself. That is the best form of divine knowledge you can receive, is through your inner world and through yourself. And then I confirm a lot of things with the world. So I'll look it up on Google. If I dream about something, I like to see if it already exists, or I like to see if it was already said. And usually, not all the time, but usually it has been already said, or it has happened. So it's cool when you are able to dream and you're able to be free in your lucid dreaming, and you're not fearful of your dreams, because like I said, when you're sleeping, when your physical body is sleeping, your spiritual body has the opportunity to be awake or awakened. And so with the bay leaf, I usually use like a black Sharpie. It's easier than a pen. Don't like to break them. And I write my intentions. So my words for 2024 are abundant success, divine soul, which is the health of my being, and balance, seated balance. And it's kind of light because this marker is a little weak. But what I do is I write it out on my bay leaf. And these are my personal intentions. So I light to the bay leaf. And I actually have a, what do you call them? A little tongue thing. I'm not going to burn it completely on here, but I'll give it a little swish swish for the people. But yeah, so you want to burn your bay leaf. I have a little thing I'm going to sit it in, my little ashtray. And as we speak, that's a part of my personal intentions. I set those intentions for my reasons, but you can set whatever intentions are meant for you. And that's how you get organized with yourself. You get yourself in order. And the balance of yourself, like I said, it's a choice. It's ultimately up to you if you want to tap into your higher consciousness. You don't have to, because ultimately it's not really something that's, what do you call it, promoted. People don't promote the higher consciousness as much. I'm not really sure why, but I do, because I love every part of my body, and the body includes, like I said, the spiritual body as much as the physical. It needs as much as attention as you give things in the world and outside entities. Your spiritual body and your higher self needs the most energy and attention from you, so that it can grow, and so that you can grow more and understanding more of yourself. I don't know about you, but I understand that we can change our minds. Not even just by every 24 hours, but every second. You can feel one way, 1 hour, really process it later, and just be like, I don't even want to do that anymore. But it's a lot of times where, because you're not actually being intentional, you change your mind a lot, because you just kind of like don't have balance in what you want to do or where you're going with things. So the 111 is very expressive of finding that that part of your soul that is yearning to connect with you, because your higher self has messages for you, wants you to know things. And my song 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻 Emotions, it's mostly about me connecting and mirroring with myself, and it's definitely a lot of emotions tied to people and situations, and like I said, unprocessed trauma. But at the end of the day, after you attempt to blame things outside of yourself, you gotta judge yourself. You gotta look at yourself so that you can reach the self-care that is needed and necessary for the seat of the soul to open itself up to you and to unblock itself. And when you unblock spiritual centers and higher conscious, you are able to see the errors of your lower chakras and the higher chakras of the physical body, and find ways to be with yourself in a nurturing way. I love blackberries, but you can use blueberries as well for a form of food. I've heard licorice. I personally am I don't like licorice. Out of everything, I can eat just about anything. I'll eat licorice, but I don't like it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't like the taste of it, but I like the smell of it. It's crazy. So the 111, which is the soul star chakra, is what I represent in my 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻 journeys. So if you're into my music and you are curious about my genre and where it's going this year, you can watch this video, but you can also go to 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻, follow my 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻 page, and keep up with 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻 in general, because that's how I will express myself in a different art form other than just being a speaker and talking to you through my live. You can check me out in my song Emotional. BreiEndia, BreiEndia is how you can find me on YouTube. And eventually, once I get things situated with BMI and register my songs, hopefully my songs will be on bigger platforms and more streaming platforms afforded to you. Okay, so the soul star chakra, the seat of the soul, and I'm just going to give general information right now for you, and you can look into it yourself if you have interest in connecting with your most highest, lowest consciousness, which is the 8th chakra, like I said, above the crown. So the soul star chakra is powerfully restorative, and it aids in emotional balance and stability to bring inner peace and tranquility. And like I said, that's exactly what I use it for when harnessing the energy, especially with Capricorn being in Mars, which is Mars is like I won't say a chaotic planet, but it's pretty controlling, pretty forceful. And with the cardinal sign being in this particular transitionary period, and that's been a 111 portal, it's very powerful time for a transmission of your intentions to the universe for you to manifest what it is that you're trying to bring forth in 2024, which I said is also the year of 8, which 8 represents success, but also represents yes, karma. Karma is a beautiful word to represent relationships and outcomes of those, and also things that we set for ourselves and how we transform through our own cycles. Karma can be good or bad, so don't hear the word karma and think, oh, I'm done with mine, or I need more to do, or I'm a karmic person. No, this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you are karmic if you experience karma. I'm not saying that karma is necessarily bad. I have a lot of karma to reap in the year 2024. I'm a leap year baby. Shouts out to the leap year babies. Woo woo. Leap year comes every 4 years. I was born in 1992. So 2024 is a leap year for me. Lately, I've been more so into the Ethiopian calendar, studying time and space, so that I can be able to understand more of why I understand time being an illusion, but I have to fit into the mold if I want to be a part of the world's matrix, right? But if you're not, if you're off the grid, if you're a person who has time to make time for your higher self, even if you have a job for your physical body, you want to make sure that you still connect with your spiritual body so that you're not just walking alive instead of actually living. Life can pass you by when you're not truly allowing yourself to restore. Our cells regenerate every 7 years. In the Ethiopian calendar, it goes by the 7 every 7 years. So I go by 7 years. I've taken off 7 years for myself. And I see how it has impacted me to take my time and not be so focused on aging or the element of age and how it affects me as a human. I love and embrace age, but I understand that when you focus on age, time, and the sun's up, rising, and falling, you don't allow yourself to see every day how great it is to be alive and to just feel things, to have existence. It's a beautiful thing because, as they say, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So when you think of the atoms and how when a person passes over, their physical body, of course, passes over and gets buried or cremated, but those atoms are still with us, surrounding us, allowing gravity to exist. Another fact or something spoken about the soul star is the soul star chakra is the closest chakra to the body, which is why the emotions are kind of like the initiation of connecting to the higher consciousness. So it's a gateway of divine love and spiritual wisdom. I can attest to that because the spiritual wisdom that you receive from connecting to your soul is so immortal. Like, we are mortal beings in these bodies, but the soul isn't immortal, right? And that's because it is the non-physical existence part. Sometimes they say our eyes create things that aren't there, or our eyes are the reason why color exists. It's not that the world is color, but we see it that way with the rays of light in our eyes. So when it comes to the gateway of divine love, I am using this year to tap into the next physical chakra, which will be the heart chakra. But I'm using 2 of the unseen chakras as I'm tapping into my spiritual body, because this is the entry of divine love, which is mostly tied to the love for myself, the love for my higher self. I love my higher self. When you sit with yourself and you connect with yourself, you learn so much about the first twin we meet, which is the other side of ourselves. There's nobody more in the world that you can get to know before you get to know yourself. You can say you know other people, but really, even in the way universal law works, the more you think you know about someone else, the more you're actually getting to know yourself. So that's how that works, and you can have your own views of it, but that's just what it is. When it comes to the soul in general, the soul is the spiritual part of a person that some people believe continues to exist in some form after their body has died, or I just said this, or the part of a person that is not physical and experiences deep feelings and emotions, suffering greatly while also alive. So we can hope that a soul is now at peace. It was a little quote I read about the soul, and also another tidbit about the soul is that the soul is the spiritual or immaterial part of a human, or the immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal. So the emotional and intellectual energy is tied to the soul, and that's ties in everything I was just saying about why I view the 111 portal 2024, the 8th year, this year of karma, and bringing forth dharma to some people's lives, or bringing forth a graduation into another element of karma, which maybe people are receiving, because there is give and take. So if you have been a giver in the past few cycles and you haven't really experienced what it's like to receive, you will have the opportunity in this year to not only set your intentions to be able to receive and open up your heart to receiving, but to wipe away repressed emotions and unprocessed emotions and traumas so that you can make space to receive. You don't want to receive those things again. You don't want to project into the world, into the universe, that you want to go over that again. You don't want to repeat certain things again, right? Some people do. Some people want to repeat certain lessons again, whether good or bad. And it's from the soul. They're not like intentionally saying, I want to go through that mess again. They're just speaking about it so much that they're attracting it to occur over and over again. And energy, I don't blame people for carrying a certain energy. Or if a person does something to me, I understand from a higher consciousness that it's an energy attached to people in which they have to choose to grow or evolve from, or they may never evolve from in this particular lifetime. Some people, and that's why it's important to observe, forgive, and accept, because once you're able to observe things and you realize that you cannot control everything around you, and the only thing you are best to control is yourself. How you respond to things, how you receive things, how you interpret things, how you get offended by things, how you get emotional about things. And you don't want to allow emotions to control you. You want to have control of your emotions. You want to have intellect and intelligence of your emotions. You want to be able to have a bountiful, abundant success in your soul. So when you have emotions that are unresolved and misunderstood, you're misunderstanding yourself. And it's a constant battle with ourself, and the spiritual warfare begins with the self, because the unity begins with the self. So if you have war with certain things of a higher nature, it's war with yourself. It's a conscious thing. So you have to choose to learn that your higher self needs you. Your higher self deserves to connect with you. Everything that you believe you are doing alone, you're not doing alone. You're doing it with your higher self, which is an entire different element of your being and existence that requires unity. It requires partnership, solidarity, attention. And the simplest form and way to connect with the seat of the soul is meditation. So I feel like I did a little rant today, and I've already wanded you some of this great aromatherapy scent. I'm going to do some more of that. Take some of that. Take some of that. And this was pretty simple. As I stated, my expression through art form of music and 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻. Follow 𝒮𝑒𝓁𝒻 if you're interested in seeing how I use the elements to incorporate my art forms and interests, as well as my BG art forms, which is my animation cosplay character, in which she has different faces, different personalities. Shouts out to Art Bank, who is the physical artist that puts my vision on paper. And soon I will be allowing myself to meet with some different crafters who know how to create like figures. I want some action figures made of my BGs. But otherwise, thank you all for watching. I hope you all are truly allowing yourself to be seated in the soul. And like I said, the words for the 111 portal, and encouraging you to learn about the numbers 111, synchronization, and why it's important when you're connecting to the seat of the soul. Learn about the 8th chakra and the 12 chakras in total if you're interested in the spiritual body as well as the physical body system of spiritual centers. And if you are into developing psych abilities or understanding your personal gifts, understanding that these are not demonic, these are not angelic, these are specifically human. To know and have psych abilities is a human gift. It is a gift that we have as humans to connect with our experience, being alive and being in a spiritual journey while on this earth, and harnessing the energy of the planetary alignment, whether it be on your birthday. And even when it comes to your birthday, you don't have to tell people the exact day and time, because people like to be in your business. So if you want to protect that part of you, you can study it for yourself, but ultimately just tell people your zodiac sign. I mean, that's the new big thing, right? So just tell them, oh yeah, I'm a such and such, because usually they ask because they want to know what zodiac sign you are. But your sun sign is not the only thing to define you in your birth chart. You have so many other elements of you. When I found out that I have all 12 zodiac signs, including the 13th in my chart, and I learned how that matters and where they're placed and how that affects me and things of that nature, it really has expanded my mental when it comes to the spiritual body. And I used to be fretful of looking into those things because of the way of the world, the way that the world has set up certain businesses, because everything is a business. Education system is a business, religion is a business. Those systems set are a business. The chakra system, they use it as a business in some places. But for me, I like to look at the most natural forms that are of the planet and see how I can connect to it in the most natural way. And holistically, you can connect to your holistic nature through the seat of the soul, the 8th chakra. With the 8th ear being of karma, study those words as well, the word karma, so that you're not confused about what it is. And like I said, again, I will reiterate, the most effective form of studying and research is to go within. Your happy inwards is the most valuable form of understanding your soul. And if you want to, you can confirm with family, you can confirm with friends, other people who have awakened with you. If you connect with a soul tribe, you can confirm with them. You can confirm through technology, Google, whatever you use, to see if it exists. A lot of research done on the physical plane is done just to see if things that we've envisioned with our own mind actually already exist. Sometimes we wonder why we dream of things. It's okay if you want to look it up, or if you want to if you know how to tap into yourself, to question these things. If you connect with God, I call it a direct line. When you can sit with yourself and get answers from things that you have dreamt about, or things that you intuitively know and you don't know how to process, and you don't necessarily want to say it to anybody. A lot of times when you tap into your psych abilities, if you say it out loud in the universe or to people that don't understand, it can come off wrong, and it can turn you away from the growth that you've made with your own soul. So if you've grown with your soul, protect some of those secrets, those things that you learn from your higher self, because some of it is just for you, and some of it is for you so that you can spread to people who gravitate to you in the season where it's necessary. So be prepared. Use this season of connecting with your 8th chakra to be prepared for the shifts around you, for the great awakening. If you've been awakened for years and you feel like you've been waiting for people in your life to come to that point with you, be ready. Because this is a year where a lot of truth will be said. Some of it may come off as distorted, disrespectful. It may come off as non-harmonious, but technically it's all meant to enforce harmony and balance and the flow of energy of not just individuals, but of people, of partnership, of relationships. And to have emotional intelligence, stability, and control allows you to be able to evolve into the seat of the soul and to connect with that higher consciousness. I'm done ranting. I appreciate you if you join me on my live. It's early morning, 7:11 right now. And that's funny, right? Yeah, so like I said, this 111 portal is 72 hours at the least, so you should be able to allow yourself between yesterday and tomorrow night. Sit with yourself, write your intentions, tap into your emotions, to give yourself the opportunity to really be in conversation with your higher consciousness and your higher self. Happy inwards to you. Happy 2024, 8th year, and tune into that 8th chakra so that you can understand more of things that you're interested in. And like I said, the best connection is with yourself. I wanted to make sure I mentioned everything. Oh, one thing I didn't mention of a stone that I don't have with me. I mentioned the onyx, the black onyx, the obsidian, and the tourmaline, which are all black stones tied to the 111. And my perception of the 111 is best evoked through this color, black, is the indigo kyanite. So if you're familiar with stone crystals and you're interested in using them to harness energy, the indigo kyanite initiates enlightenment and also aids the spirit in growth. Plain and simple. I'm just here giving you information that's already been filtered, already been given, already exposed, already in the light. But there's more information for you to receive, and you connect. When you connect to your higher self and you find yourself in the seat of the soul, this will be the best time for you to awaken that part of yourself and connect with your 8th chakra. Otherwise, I will be tapping into some more Kemetic yoga this year and other forms of yoga that I've been learning about. So I'm excited for that piece, as well as I'm excited for family that I have who have rededicated themselves to God, to the divine, who have tapped into their Christ consciousness particularly. Shouts out to everybody of every form of religion who are using their road to reach God in whatever way suits them in their particular path. People who connect with their ancestors in certain personal ways, and people who use all energy forms for uplifting and raising the vibrations of us as a people, of us as a whole body of the divine, or as they say in tarot, the upload of us becoming more better as a collective. But I won't get creepy on y'all. Religion is enough. Connecting with God directly is enough. A direct line and being still within yourself in meditational peace and privacy with God is enough. Take your power back this year. Like I said, the leap year babies, we might have a little bit more pressure on us, but it's not necessarily a negative thing. You can look into what a leap year is, the importance of February 29th, and dates this year that will affect you during the retrogrades that occur, what's important in the shifts of the world, how it will blend with the development of your emotions. So don't be fearful. Let fear guide you to a way in which you are able to be in control of it, but don't let your fears control you. Shout out to my uncle and what book he will be releasing about fear very soon. And to myself, SelfJourneyS will be coming in due time. I won't release any dates. It's okay to be private. It's okay to keep things to yourself until it's released. That's when I'll speak about it. But as far as that song, DJ 111 Emotions, you can look up BreiEndia, BREI, capital ENDIA, and you can look up DeviJam, DEVIJAHM. That is my form of art, my music, my expression that I share with the world, and a conversation that I have with the universal nature of our being. And yeah, I think that's all. I tapped into all the senses that I wanted to tap into. So as this part of the seat of the soul is here, the 8th chakra, right? So tap into that today. And GSelfUnityPeaceLoveTruth. This is BreiEndia, and I send you love. And I hope that you are able to tune in to your emotions and embrace every bit of your higher self. Oh yeah, and wisdom and spirit as well. All love. Talk to y'all later.